Welcome to another On Enter Flash tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to create a website. And the first thing we want to do when creating a website, one of the most important questions and fundamental, is what size should my website be? Some people, they start off with design, but the first thing we have to know is what size to make it. Building a website is similar to building a house in the sense you can't build a house until you know what size your property is. And we have to know that we want to leave space for the driveway and so forth. So they're two common, or the most common, screen resolutions of computers, which is 1024 by 768 and 800 by 600. Now this is what most web designers design for, and as time goes on these things will change, most likely increase, because technology is getting cheaper, screens are getting cheaper, and so forth. So these are the two numbers or two dimensions we want to deal with. So what do we do with these dimensions? How do we use them? Well, building a Flash website, we want to stick within these boundaries, but the thing is we're not able to use the entire website with the entire size, and I'll explain why. Let's go to the browser. If we look at a website, I'm using Firefox, and when we look at Firefox we see that there are a couple of things. I'm just going to draw this squiggly line right here, and everything in between this squiggly line is space that's being taken up. So if I had 800 by 600 display, let's say 100 of those pixels are being taken up by the browser. So I'm only left with 700 as far as the height goes. No, that was wrong. 600 is the height, excuse me. So I'm left with 500, let's say. So what that means is that the browser's taking up space, or a portion of your dimension space. So let's say that the website is our house, rather. So this is our house, and portions of the browser can be thought of as the driveway or the pool in the back or the backyard. So we have real estate, but we don't have everything at our disposal. So with the tabs and the favorite bar, it all adds up. So let's go back into Flash. So what do we do with these numbers now? Well, we have to take into consideration that the browser is taking up bits and pieces. So let's say we do a website for this size, which I would recommend, because if you're doing it for 800 by 600, they'll be able to see it, and so will the 1024 people. So what numbers would I use, or what is my maximum? Well, for the most part, the width from right to left, we won't have to do much changing, but I would give it a maximum of like 750, and the height maybe around, instead of 600, I'll go to 450. And the way we do that, if you don't know, is by clicking on the stage. We can go inside of our properties, and with the properties open you should see size, and right here you go to fill in the sizes that you want. So I said around 750, and for this 450 for the height. And also you can change the background color, all that jazz. So okay, I made the site a little bit bigger. Fantastic, great, awesome. Now this website, or this size, would be pretty good for making a website. Now there are other ways of making a website, of course. There are numerous or innumerous ways. One way is some people want the entire website filled with the Flash website. So the way you have to do that is change options to make Flash expand the total width and height of the website, meaning that'll take up everything, that is not confined to dimensions. It has a fluid feel to it. So what we're going to do is go to File, and inside of File we want to go to Publish Settings, and in Publish Settings we want to click on the HTML tag, and inside we want to take it from that pixel or match movie to percent. Now Flash will appear in the browser 100% by 100%, the height and the width. So it will take up everything it possibly can. Now let's also look at the alignment, which is the Flash alignment, and we want to make sure that it's left for the horizontal and top for vertical. Now I'm going to show you about scale really quickly, but before I do that, I'm just going to leave it at its default setting. After you're done with that, just press the OK. You can go to File again and go to Publish Preview and the default HTML, which will open it up in your browser. Now we see our numbers that we have in our Flash file. Now this whole entire browser is actually taken up by Flash. If you right click anywhere, you'll pretty much get that Flash zoom in menu. Anyway, now let's minimize this. When I minimize it, you'll notice that the numbers get small. The Flash is actually shrinking and growing with the browser, and that's not something that you want to do per se. You don't want your numbers and stuff to get small and big depending on how big the browser is. But if you did, then this is exactly where you want to be. But that's not where that's not what I'm showing you right now. So what I want to do is go back to File, and inside of Publish Settings, we want to go to the Scale, and we want to put No Scale. So Flash will not scale. It will only shrink and grow, and the content of Flash will not change. So if I tried it out again, I'm just going to use the shortcut this time. Whatever I do, if I make it smaller, the numbers stay the same as far as the size of these numbers. They are proportionate from its birth, or when I created it, opposed to this other tab that had the scaling on. So that's pretty much it. We wanted to learn how to, the first step into creating a website is to knowing what size to create it. So that's pretty much it, knowing your size. And also, when we do get more into it, I'm going to teach you how, when you're doing a website with no specific size, how to use code to make sure that your website always stays center. So that's pretty much it for now. Thanks for watching On Enter Flash. If you like these tutorials, don't forget to go to my website, onenterflash.blogspot.com. There's a cool website there. And also, subscribe. Go to YouTube, right there, and click that big old subscribe button where it says Edit Channel. It's just going to say Subscribe by Magic. Anyway, thanks for watching On Enter Flash. This is Worth, and have a flashful day. Boy, that was really corny, but okay.